Now that all the Wallet Warriors already have their top tier vehicle, I think it's probably time to look at which one of them is the best one to actually grind.
It's under crimson skies, hell's horizon, our trap will spring. Unaware of our presence, they'll be marching straight to their doom.
So the Tornado is a pile of shit. I think everybody knows this by now. It has a plethora of issues. For one, it's a strike aircraft at top tier, so it's always going to be shit because strike aircraft at top tier in air realistic don't have a place. Beyond the meta problem, well, it's also just a shit aircraft. It has a terrible flight model, it has wing rip issues, it's way too heavy, it doesn't have its terrain follow feature that the real thing had. The wing swept isn't set up properly, so if you leave it on auto mode, your wings will start flapping about when you start to accelerate. And its 27mm cannons, while good for killing ground targets, are kinda unusable because if you attempt to kill ground targets with them because of the terrible flight model, if your wings are swept backwards and you attack ground targets, you'll just crash. But hey, it has flares and 2 AIM-9Ls, and it can carry enough dumb bombs to kill 2 bases. Realistically, if you want to have a Tornado, for whatever reason, just get the Event Tornado, because that thing sits at 10.7 instead of 11.3 like the Tech Tree version. The only difference between them is the Tech Tree version gets guided bombs, which in air realistic are of course never going to be used, and the Event version gets anti-ship missiles that are just completely useless. The big issue for the Tornado though is it kinda doesn't have anything in front of it. Like, there are 3 Tornadoes in the game, and every single one of them has at least one rank that's just completely empty. You don't want to grind the Italian Tornado because, well, it's in the Italian tree, so it's, you know, it's one of those trees. You know, one of those. So you probably don't want the Italian Tornado. Your other options then are the German and the British Tornado. Both of those trees are decent. They have some variety to them. And both of those trees have a Phantom you can use in order to grind out the Tornado. It's just that the Phantom is, you know, better than the Tornado, because a Phantom can also carry potent air-to-air missiles. It can also carry enough bombs to kill 2 bases. It also has countermeasures. And it has a 20mm Vulcan, which is way better for killing ground targets and air targets, because you actually have ammo.
Сердце не прятал за спины ребят. Летят самолеты, танки горят. Так бьет ее комбат.
MiGs. Everyone hates MiGs. And the biggest MiGer of them all is the MiG-29. This thing has a couple of issues. I mean, it's not as bad as the Tornado. I will remind you, the Tornado has a higher modification cost and repair cost than a MiG-29 or an F-16, because, you know, just kind of nice things with Gaijin. The MiG-29 has a couple of issues though. The aircraft itself is completely fine, but the grind, yeah. You see, the British tech tree has variety. There's a couple of ground attack aircraft, there's a couple of fighters, there's a couple of long-range bombers, so you can mix up your playstyle, same with the Germans. The Russian tech tree is, well, yuck. Mick. And that's it. They don't really have any variety, which is kinda shit from when you want to grind. Not to mention, once you actually have the MiG-29, well, stock you have 2 R60Ms, which is okay, I guess, but then you look into the modifications and, well, there's just tons of modifications that no one actually wants. Like, you need to get normal R60s, which are just trash, and then get a radar missile before you can actually start researching the R60Ms, which is not nice. However, you can get napalm bombs as a rank 1 modification, which makes the grind a lot easier. That means you can kill at least 1 base. The other issue with the MiG-29 is its cannon, kinda? I mean, it's a really good 30mm cannon. However, it only gets 150 shots, which can be a bit of an issue, mainly because you can't just farm a bunch of ground targets if you have to. When it comes to its actual performance though, it is technically kinda more maneuverable than an F-16 at high speeds, but at low speeds it's just gonna fall like a brick. It also has less engine power than a Phantom, but it's significantly lighter, so Yeah, make of that whatever you want.
Don't wanna be an American idiot.
So the F-16 is undoubtedly the best aircraft in the entire game right now. However, that only goes for the F-16 ADF, which is the same one as the Italian F-16, and all the other F-16s, which are the F-16A in the American tree, the F-16 in the Chinese tree, and the F-16 nets in the Israeli tree, they're kinda shit, because those F-16s, well, they get stock AIM-9Js at 11.7. Yeah, so they're just trash. They're just straight up trash. The ADF though, is really good. I mean, for beginners it has stock AIM-9Ls, so that's good. But here's the kicker. Once you have your flares unlocked, you can immediately start researching your AIM-7Ms. So it takes 2 modifications in order to have your vehicle equipped with its top weaponry. This thing also has insane engine power, which actually means it plays kinda like an F-104. But if you wanna play these things in custom matches, like you should, because that's the only time you're actually gonna have fun with these things, because they're all top tier vehicles and top tier sucks ass. If you wanna have fun in custom matches with your friends, the F-16 is probably also the best pickup, because at low speeds this thing is ridiculously maneuverable. It's a lot of fun to just fly around with this thing. It also gets a Vulcan with like 500-ish shots, so if you suck ultra ass at air-to-air, you can hit a couple of ground targets at least to get your modifications up. Not to mention it's in the American tech tree. The American tech tree actually has variety. Although it's not exactly the best tech tree to start out with for new players, because most of the aircraft are energy fighters. But if you start experimenting with the American tech tree, you'll find some gems. For example, rank 1 has the SB something, rank 2 has the P40s, rank 3 has the P61, rank 4 has the Corsair with the 20mm, rank 5 has the F3D, rank 6 has the A4, rank 7 has your Phantom. Not to mention, I think it's not exactly a secret that the Americans have the best air force in the world. I mean, just think about it. Why do you think the Soviets built so many air defense systems? So in the future, if there's a F-15 coming, I'm just saying, they dominate right now, and they will continue to dominate in the future, guaranteed. So yeah, F-16 is the way to go. Easiest grind, easiest stock grind, and also happens to be the best aircraft right now. So yeah, go for the F-16.